And we're back for MSI 2026 and what could be the last game before we take a break and then come back on Wednesday.
True.
To end up our playoff phase, I guess.
Yeah. 4 days of double best of fives of what we're just finishing experiencing. Then 1 day off for those of you who aren't tracking the schedule. Then we'll have 2 best of fives when we come back.
Yes.
Then the final
Wednesday.
4 days will all only be 1 best of fives because there's this massive lower bracket that needs to play out, as well as the upper bracket finals. So it's going to be a nice finish to this MSI.
Yeah, and it kind of, everything calms down a little bit as well. It gets more exciting because we get near the end of the tournament, but it gets less double best of 5 days. Which means if you're European, I think we're starting at 10 AM European time, which is quite nice for them. You don't have to have that 5 AM start.
It'll be 5 hours later than MSI has been starting for double best of 5 days on the single best of 5 days.
Exactly, exactly. So let's get into round 3 of this best of 5. For Furia, you got to find an extra gear, some secret pocket pick that no one ever expected, and a few more 1,000 gold per minute if you are going to be able to take down T1, who have been dominant in these first 2 games. Furia selected second pick. T1 chose to be on blue side. So we're going to get the Poppy Band away and the Sivir removed by T1, and then a Ziggs and a Nocturne taken away by Furia.
See if they can find the perfect Nasus angle for Tatu. It's pick and hope for Furia if they're trying to take down T1. That last game was just it was just destruction by Peyz and Keria. Even if Faker was not able to land that many stuns, even if Doran was, you know, dying to a couple ganks, it didn't matter. Peyz was just inevitable that game.
Yeah, and it's not that T1 didn't make mistakes. It's just they got Peyz into a position where Furia needed 5 people to kill him, and he was never on their screen. He was always so far away. Mel is the final ban from Furia, and Bessa the final ban from T1. They will have first pick. Where are they going to go?
Yeah, all business. T1 wants to get through to the next stage of MSI. They want to dispatch Furia by a very standard first pick, especially with the 480 junglers that are already gone. Can't even have a solid counter pick. Although I will say, depending on, there is one NA jungler that would just slam Shen when he sees Vi jungler, and I really actually love that counter pick.
I do like Shen into Vi.
If they're trying to really outdraft them somehow. And Senna I also love. With the current mage bots that have already been denied, question would be, has Peyz picked up the Vel'Koz in the 2 days since he's lost to it in the Senna Vel'Koz matchup?
I mean, possibly, but you could also even look towards, you know, you could go Ashe Seraphine bot lane, you could go Kalista Renata if you just wanted to be aggressive.
Man.
If you want to play wave clear into wave clear, we are falling further down the list of wave clearing mages, but like Peyz and Keria can just be aggressive.
I gotta say though, Vi Vel'Koz sounds like a pretty nasty combo.
It does.
Like the R reaches so far from the Vel'Koz.
Yeah. Should we just do only line ultimates? Malphite Vi Vel'Koz.
Varus is good. Flex pick as well if they'd like it to be.
Play up into Guigo's Gnar if you want it for Doran, or you can always just put it down towards that bottom side. Likely to be, I mean, lethality we have still seen quite a lot of, and when you've got a Vi who is locking someone down for you at the end of your piercing arrow, lethality does make sense. Yeah,
it also allows him to outrange the Senna for the vast majority of the game. So T1 just very quickly locking in their second pick as well with the Taliyah for Faker, which always been a great Faker pick, and a small bust before the tournament means a lot of more mages have picked it up.
I'm wondering where Furia decide to go. Mid lane is the obvious pick, but do you want to just play something like the Victor into it? You don't really, you're always going to be caught out by the Vi, which is very strong in these situations. But there is the Nasus. The dogs have been let out by Furia, something we've seen from Tatu once this split. You already talked about it. Went 100% win rate on it.
Yeah, pre-champ select, we're like, what could they do?
Yeah, bring out something cool.
What hasn't T1 experienced? All the other, you know, us little regions have experienced this. Griffin over in North America, Skewmond over in the LEC, and this was the qualifying pick for Tatu in Game 4 of their CB LoL Finals. Not an incredible angle. I do feel like it's a little bit forced. So as Griffin hasn't revealed the main reasons he has this pick, but we can kind of logic it out. Like, Nasus is good if you need to come into him, but also if you don't necessarily have enough damage to kill him. And there's already a lot of damage in this T1 comp and a lot of ability to kite back. So I think it's pretty good into the Vi. The other two picks, I feel like he just kind of wants to play Nasus.
I also think Nasus really shines when it's lower CC because he can just continue to run at you. He doesn't just get stunned as he's walking towards you. And it's a bit like just kite the Garen idea. You just kite the Nasus, don't let him get close enough for a siphoning strike. But we're keeping a track on those stacks for Tatu on the Nasus.
Yeah, other thing is it's really good with stuff like Senna and Seraphine, things that can just channel through the Nasus to empower him more as he's trying to walk at you. So they have good conditions with their own team comp.
They do. Nico taken away by Furia to try and deny a little bit of that CC. T1 looking, well, they banned the Akali. They could continue to ban mid laners so that Faker has an easier matchup in mid. I will say this Varus, we have seen it from Doran, but we haven't seen it from Peyz in Spring. Not that he can't play it, obviously. Very experienced Varus player, but most of the time, or at least the 2 times that T1 have played it in Spring, it has gone into Doran's hands.
You can really see how Tatu already is such a big part of this team. His pick is already locked in, but he's the main player that I see talking during the draft here for Furia. So they're still in it, still trying to make magic happen despite being down 2-0 in the series to T1. Aurora being locked in as well. Still decent in the matchup into the Taliyah.
Pretty solid. The ability to dodge away with that weirding, not get caught out with the seismic shove is really nice. You can buffer it, so you dash back on it. And then if you see a Vi running towards your backline, you go across the veil and you try and jump onto their backline and you get some damage down.
Alternatively, flex pick. Senna Nasus bot, Tatu saving his jungler for 5. That's why he's still talking. He's like, we haven't picked my jungler yet.
I mean, it's very possible. I'm going to say it's not probable.
I see.
As we do see the Kalista Renata locked in for the bot side. We talked about the aggression.
That's tough.
Into the Senna. I don't think you want to play Nasus support into Kalista Renata, dude.
No, I don't think you do. No. It will be Nasus carry, actually.
And Senna support, okay.
Senna Seraphine, though, just really sit back, have even more stuff to shoot through the Nasus. There we go. It's a classic scaling lane. There's a lot of scaling on Furia. The way that you beat Nasus, as I've heard, is you invade it. I don't see how they stop him from being invaded. The Senna Seraphine against the Kalista Renata does look hard.
Top side too. Like Varus can get pressure onto the Gnar. Even mid, early game, the Taliyah, I think, gets pushed into the Aurora before you get that a few points into your queue as the Aurora. But we'll see that mid lane as for T1. Yeah, get rid of those camps for the Nasus. Make sure that he can't get his siphoning strike stacks up. And if you are denying him those, that is a huge amount of his damage gone. Do have to be aware of the Wither. A massive slow at rank 5 and an attack speed slow. Doubly bad on the Kalista.
It's an I mean, Peyz is playing Kalista because he wants to play Kalista.
Sure.
I think that's as complex as this is going to be. Yeah. They're up 2-0 in the series. They're going for their 4th 3-0 of MSI going back to the Flames. And I think they're going to do it, Medic. Although I give this Furia draft 5 stars. For how are you going to go out? Are you going to go out with casual, normal meta drafts? Or are you going to go out swinging?
Yeah, go out on our terms. Go out on their terms. As you say, 4 top-tier Nasus games in Spring. Griffin 3 times, Skewmond once. A CBLO not included in these statistics because it's...
Someone's got to talk to Benji on Games of Legends
Games of Legends, because there is a 5th, obviously, with Tatu having played it in their finals. It's the 2nd time we've ever seen Nasus jungle ever internationally. Last time was Season 3 Worlds. MSK Guigo lost to Samsung Ozone. Dandy was playing.
Meteos would have played it later in the tournament if they just would have banned Kassadin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would have made it through that best of 3 quarterfinal, and he would have continued onwards. Unfortunately, he did not.
Sad times.
Sad times.
Sad times, yeah. Oh.
I can barely remember it. It's not a big deal.
Guigo just looking for a little bit of experience up towards the top side. Realizes he's on the wrong side of this matchup. Exhaust as well for Doran. So if Guigo ever does get on top of him, it is hard for the Gnar to continue to trade through that blighted quiver. Bot side is where my eyes for predominantly will be, I think, is Keria and Peyz on this Kalista Renata will be looking to harass down RU and JoJo as much as possible.
Yep, and you can see Tatu already pathing away from his bottom lane, so starting on his blue side, it's going to mean IU and JoJo just need to make sure they don't take that much poke here, otherwise they'll be pretty vulnerable to a 3v2 dive that Tatu wouldn't be able to cover.
Peyz in that last game, the 5th most DPM ever in an international.
And, you know, he was really close to passing T1 Peyz for second as well, which is pretty nice that he has 2 spots on the top 5 leaderboard. I do remember that sneaky game, by the way, for those NA fans that happen to be watching live. That was just an insane game. Caitlyn into Mystics Kog'Maw, quarterfinals Worlds 2017. He ends up getting crit 5 times in a row by a 50% crit Kog'Maw, dies in the last team fight, they lose the game. Go to 5 games, don't make it to semis. Not a big deal, barely remember it once again. But shout out to Sneaky, rank 1.
Yeah, shout out to Sneaky. Still sitting on top of the leaderboards, which is it's a feat in and of itself because we now have 6 full item AD carries with the boots alongside it. So you would assume DPM would rise, although the later you get into a game, DPM does fall a little bit as Tutsz tries to put some damage into Faker, who does have to burn a flash in response.
There's not as many 60-minute games anymore.
Yeah.
So it kind of balances out the DPM.
But there is also the later you get into the game, the more damage you have inherently, but the less you actually see your opponents. Because you often only saw them at a neutral objective as we have a bit of a flank here onto RU and JoJo.
They're on their own.
Yeah, Oner on the way. Peyz stepping forward, Keria with the tank handshake, has the bailout still, will put it on himself, trying to come back, won't come back in time, first blood over to Furia, they'll get a ton of damage onto Oner as well, but RU did fall, and JoJo doesn't have enough in the tank to take down that Vi.
Advantage Furia, that's exactly the play that they knew they were going to have to outplay when the Nasus paths away from them. They need to make sure the Tatu can get his stacks in the jungle, so they're always going to have to win in this 2v1 dive. They're going to lose the wave, which hurts, but I mean, watching this right here, just so much damage goes down onto Keria, not really able to get, did the bailout run off before he died there?
He dies to the tower shot during the bailout, I believe.
Yeah.
So they couldn't quite get the kill in time. But also interesting, Peyz had a couple of extra spears into IU. Maybe the rend was a little bit early, couldn't quite see. But for the moment, Peyz still has that gold lead. The Senna just trying to stack up, get towards that static shiver. Flank now from Keria as Peyz steps forward. Handshake again. Keria does get the double root. Almost gets hit with the beat drop, but is able to walk away from it. Tatu on this side of the map is going to turn his attentions back to his Gromp. Has 84 stacks on that siphoning strike. As Guigo walks out of Doran's range.
Not going to help him that much, though. Just going to have to go back to base, teleport back. Losing in CS pretty substantially in both top and bot lane. That is to be expected, really, with their current setup. Nasus cannot help you early unless the other laner really runs it down or takes a really crazy trade and stays in an aggressive spot.
Keria, loyalty program for the slow. Handshake goes wide. Are you trying to trade back onto him? Another beat drop. Quite landing there for JoJo, and as you say, like Tatu's just pathing up towards the top side. Oner with his assist ahead in gold. Mid lane relatively even. Tutsz did a good job of burning Faker's flash early doors, but again, you don't have the jungler to punish that, which is part of the issue. Tutsz actually has to be a little bit more safe in that lane than Faker does, because there's the threat of a Vi coming in from the side as Peyz steps forward. And Keria puts an auto attack in alongside the damage from Peyz. Faker on his way across. I feel a Weaver's Wall and a dive is about to materialize.
Yeah, they're thinking about it, but I mean, Tutsz is behind them waiting for the counter gank, and Nasus is kind of waiting to counter.
There's the Weaver's Wall. Good double beat drop. Handshake onto RU. Keria goes into the bailout, but they don't get him back in time, so RU makes it a 1-for-1 so far. Tutsz coming in from the side as well, goes between worlds, and Faker is on the wrong side of that tower. Furia get 2-for-1 on the bottom side.
Plus 12 at the end there for Tatu onto Faker. Ends up hitting him with the cane to get the kill, and that's the second dive in a row that hasn't been quite that clean for T1. But the cleanest part about it is the fact that Peyz still picked up both these kills, so he's going to be a little bit off to the races on the Kalista here, but you can see Furia is ready for this one. Tatu doesn't go too far away so that when Faker moves in, they can just flash on him, and when the dive does end, T1 is not able to go for a redive. Nice Aurora over the top. and smacks him down to make it a 2-for-1 in favor of Furia.
Tatu also getting the Scuttle Crab on the respawn down towards this bottom side. 135 stacks now on that Nasus. Drake going to be begun by Oner and by T1. They do still have the push in that bot lane because Peyz has got those 2 kills. Already has the Berserker Greaves, which are massive on Kalista. So important you get those early because the movement speed enhances your attack speed alongside the attack speed that you're getting from the Berserker Greaves. So you're just attacking and dancing a lot quicker.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for all this in Furia is the fact that Senna's CS is getting doubled right now.
Yeah. Keria, though, caught out. Does still have flash here. Fate's call. Just in time. Called out to the bottom lane. Managed to survive at about 100 HP.
I couldn't quite catch when Peyz hit 6, but it wouldn't surprise me
off the wave
if he was on the wave as he got it right before he was able to save Keria. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let it get quite so close. But comes in clutch there with the save, and looks like they're actually shifting around this Kalista Renata temporarily. They're deploying out mid lane right now. 7 minutes into the game.
Grub's up in 30 seconds. Might just be a play around that front. Keria still only just ticked over to level 5, so we're not going to have a hostile takeover available for the fight, but it might just be an attempted deny on Tatu on these Razor Beaks as well. If T1 can get the timer on them, it allows them subsequent invades.
Oh, trying to take his red buff as well. Yeah, I mean, Senna's trapped under the turret, really denied in this game, so trying to deny the rest of the map here is what T1's doing.
Second strike going out. Oner should have the smite. Gets it between worlds. We go. Guigo, though, with the Gnar, knocks back Keria. Keria still has that flash. The Dawning Shadow flashed away from Oner, dies. In the midst of Furia, T1 still have a 4v4 here. The Senna's still down in that bottom lane, but a good wallop onto Doran. The bailout on him as well, but there's no one low enough for Doran to be brought back to life. Peyz gonna fall to a beat drop. And now the chase perhaps continues as Tutsz flashes the wall and sends Keria to the afterlife. T1 overextend dramatically, and Furia are very happy to pounce.
And this is a 4v5 for Furia. Senna's pushing bottom lane by herself, and they're looking for more.
Faker forced away as well. As you say, Furia now with a 500 gold lead. No plate, unfortunately, for RU on the Senna, but we'll have another look at this. T1 hard forced this play.
They are really going for it right now, and Keria just takes so much damage off the jump before Faker's even really able to join this fight. So now, with Keria out of the fight, sure, Senna still able to support by coming over the top, and then Doran, brother, this is a 1v4 that he's walking into here. Bailout unable to save him, and they just, it is so hard to cut through an Alton Nasus who's next to a Seraphine and has the Senna shields from over the top.
200 sacks now for that Nasus. Usually we want, you know, average of 240 about the 10-minute mark. He's close to that. Can go for another clear. There's only his wolves available to him, though. Has that protoplasm harness completed. The other stacker in the game is the Senna, and unfortunately for RU, hasn't really had anyone to stack on in the lane. 20 at the moment, or 19.
Yeah, we're not going to pay attention to Senna for a while. You know, it's a supporting character in this game. The main character is the Nasus at the 207 with the protoplasm harness. I mean, oftentimes the Nasus needs to complete this protoplasm harness before he can enter the game. The fact that he's already 1 kill, 3 assists, not behind the Vi in gold, but ahead of him in items and pace in the game.
JoJo looking to clear out a little bit of vision for Tatu if he wants to come down here. Gold lead still for Doran on the top side, even though stepped a little bit too greedily around that red buff play. Peyz still a K ahead as well on his way towards that first item. Appears to be a static shiv, the direction that he is going. As Guigo, again, a supporting character in this game, you feel, on the Gnar. His job is to be there and slam some people into a wall, perhaps land a subsequent wallop.
Yeah, this is a mid-jungle game.
Yeah.
Tutsz and Nasus right here. Tatu's Nasus, though, is, to me, the main character. If this guy continues to get going, throw the Wither down onto the Kalista and just go. Like, there's a lot of CC to slow him down, but he's just going to keep walking at you with the heals from the Senna Seraphine that are going to be coming in from behind.
Tatu jumps across the wall. Keria there. No flash here, but they do have the Fate's Call. They'll use it early. Manages to land the handshake onto the backline. Dawning Shadow on Guigo, not enough. Tatu flashes over the hostile takeover, still gets the siphoning strike. There's the beast dropping around him. T1 are dropping like flies. Peyz only has cleanse. No flash for him as they turn their attentions over to JoJo. Peyz able to dance out of the back of it and cleanses away the Wither, and now with the Ren, the Nasus has been felled. T1 turn around the topside fight.
Wow, that was looking so good for Furia until it wasn't. Peyz dancing around the Nasus at the back end of that fight. As long as he doesn't get withered, he's able to just kite him perfectly. They get the shutdown there and reestablish the goal lead for themselves.
It was so close, though.
Dude, I thought the Nasus was going to run through him.
So did I. So did I. Heard it in your voice. I could hear it. You were ready.
It just felt right.
To have a Baja Boys blast there on the top side.
You need to create these interesting situations. Like, if you can just get Nasus in the middle of the opponent, he's usually going to win. And that's what he finds with this blast cone onto Keria. And especially after this, like, if you full send it into a Nasus and don't kill the Nasus, again, he usually carries the fight. But it's just, watch Peyz, right? Flashes back, and then Tatu can just never reach him. Even if Tatu's able to sidestep the Vault Breaker from Oner, he's just never reaching him the way Peyz is able to keep space.
And that's what we talked about in draft. Nasus better when the enemy team does not have too much CC, because you want to walk at your opponents. And now, yes, the cleanse is down for Peyz, the flash is down, and that's an opportunity for Furia to try and make a play, and they're going to try and do that around this Drake right now. Are you stepping forward? Gets the Celestial opposition off of Keria. Tatu has that siphoning strike, has the smite. Faker goes in with the Weaver's Wall. Between worlds goes one. Oner dives forward with the Vault Breaker and still manages to find the smite and then flashes out. The rest of T1 just a distraction as Doran will charge up the boat. Tanks the tower, misses the shot. Guigo able to extricate himself on the top lane.
Still a big one for T1 getting the Drake at the tail end of that team fight, keeping pressure up around the map. And I need to speak collectively as the Americas right now. Like, T1...
Sure. No, wait, you can't do that.
Why not?
LTL's in the dirt. LTA's in the dirt.
What do you mean?
You're the LCS now. You guys made a big deal about this.
It's North and South America. I'm putting CB LOL on our level despite us 3-0ing them.
Okay, wow. Okay, now you can say
because
whatever
we
you want.
can
I'm
all
not part of this, by the way.
That not only is T1 better than us with macro and team fighting, Oner also owns all our junglers with smite.
That's true.
We just can't get a smite off of him. Like, the games are in a good spot. Jose couldn't do it, and Spires loses smites to everyone. Tatu can't do it. It's just not fair. Like, at least miss your smites.
I mean, I feel like if he did that, he wouldn't be Oner, you know?
I know.
There's a degree of practice and forethought.
But why can't missing smites be part of the circus? Like, just included as one of the attractions.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. You've got the Ferris wheel over here. You've got
all this fun stuff.
There. The problem is, if you practice at the circus long enough, is with all those reaction games,
it's true.
Your smites are going to be on point. 320 stacks for the Nasus at the 15-minute mark, about 30 short of the average right now, but still in a solid position. IU sitting only at 33 and 1,000 gold lead for T1. Again, predominantly sitting on Peyz, but alongside that, Oner and Doran have garnered themselves advantages. JoJo, unfortunately for Furia, has 3 of their kills, so he is 1,000 gold ahead himself. As we see the battle between Oner and Tatu, both sitting at 214, that extra gold coming out for Oner.
A lot of damage being put out by the Nasus, but this is really, you're channeling everything through him. They have the Senna Seraphine. He needs to walk in front of them and just try and move up here, but there's a lot of CC and burst that he's got to be respectful of. Looking for a fight here.
Oner just holding on to that Vault Breaker. Doran on the top side, though, isolated by Tutsz. Dodges away from the chain of corruption. Cease and desist from Oner, but now he's in the middle of the enemy team as Tutsz is getting chased out by Doran, but he dashes, and with the dawning shadow, even the bailout can't save you. The economics of that fight entirely in Furia's favor.
Absolutely, and part of it is because Faker wasn't there. Faker split pushing this bot turret, trying to break the first brick of the game on the side of T1, but if you don't have the whole squad there, Nasus will be able to run through you.
The Rift Out picked up. Let's have another look at this. Oner does get the smite. You've got the rend as well, so it's a little bit easier of a combination to make.
Yeah, and you can see Peyz and Keria down on the bottom side, not really able to get a safe entry here. And then if you go in on the Vi and the whole team isn't behind you, you were going to die very quickly against the Nasus. Doran did a lot of work on the outside of the fight, but just couldn't quite get past the Aurora.
Yeah, in that 1v1, it got very close very quickly. Faker, as you say, continues to push out the bot side. Now it's TP'd up towards top. Has a Blackfire torch first on this Taliyah. Hasn't really been involved in the game as much as his opposite man. Let's see. Tutsz actually sitting at 4-0-3 right now. 7 of the 11 kills he has been there for. Whereas Faker, 0-1-1. Ooh, Guigo, short of the Gnar, short of the wallop. Okay, Faker. Yeah, okay, Faker. Okay, you just, every now and again, Faker has to remind us. Yeah. And that's what happened there.
Really tanky this game on the Taliyah. He's weirdly had like a pretty quiet series. The Orianna game, low kill participation. The Annie game was missing some stuns. Hasn't mattered. No. Right? This has really been the Peyz show so far with that Caitlyn game, and could end up being on this Kalista as well.
I will say it could matter in this game, right? We're 1,000 gold apart at 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, there's 2 Drakes to nil, but there's 2 Grubs to Furia, so they have been able to get a little bit of an early neutral. I think the problem is, and something you actually brought up all the way back in game 1, is T1's team fighting tends to be top-notch.
Yeah.
Right? It is rare that you see them totally misplay a team fight. Skirmishes, on the other hand, they do misplay from time to time.
Yeah, and I also got to say, I think from gold deficits, T1 is the greatest team fighting team in the world, maybe, that I've ever seen. Like, they just find such remarkable angles, and the game is never over until you kill their Nexus. It's just incredible to watch. So no matter how far ahead you get, no matter how good your team composition looks, they'll find angles that you've never seen other teams find with.
We're looking for some angles right now as the chain of corruption goes down with that handshake. Tatu takes a chunk. TP coming in from Tutsz as well. This is a 3rd Drake fight for both these teams. As Furia will gain control around the Dragon Pit for now, but there's a control ward in the back of the pit, and you can see Oner coming in from the bottom side as well. Yeah. Chain of corruption available. Good damage from the weirding from Tutsz. Fate's Call used as well. The Weaver's Wall will split Furia in 2, but a great between worlds as they dive forward. The Encore, though, doing a huge amount of work as Ayu's able to kill off Keria. Tatu trying to open up on Oner, but with Doran there, Tatu can't stay close enough. Guigo comes alive and finds a kill. And now it's all on Tatu and Tutsz. The flash away is not going to be enough to save T1. Doran, though, turning it around. The Gnar, the wallop, Faker in from the side. Dreaded volley, not enough. Faker, the Drake is on Furia's side, and Faker, with the flash, gets out alive and now perhaps decides to come back in. He'll look for a steal, a threaded volley perhaps across the wall. I think it's not going to be enough. He went for the seismic shove. He couldn't quite get it. 3rd Drake to Furia, and what a close fight it was.
Smite just comes off cooldown at the end to give Tatu even more stacks. 423 after that fight. Brazil doing everything in their power to stay here in Korea at MSI. If they lose this game, they would be eliminated. These fights are crazy.
Yeah.
With how T1 tried to force their engage here. The Taliyah ultimate flies in, and I need to see again because it looked like Oner just full sends it on the other side of the Taliyah ultimate. So like on one side, you have Peyz trying to deal with everything. It's a 2v3, but Oner flies into the other side. I actually feel like if T1 fully commits to the left side,
they just line up.
They probably just win the fight because of where that Faker ultimate came through. But then at the end here, it did look like Doran was going to dance on him right there, completely owning the Aurora, but Guigo hits Gnar, gets the stun into the wall, and the smack, plus the sidestep at the end by Tatu's Nasus.
The Drake, one more auto from the Dragon would have been enough. So close for Furia. Still only 1,600 gold between the two teams. 1.7k lead for Peyz, but Tutsz on this Aurora, 5-1-5 as the tower goes down in the mid lane, and Ayu's a little bit too deep. Oner dives in on the back line though with the between worlds. Tutsz is doing a lot of work. Faker has no flash from that last fight, and here comes the cane. Tatu takes him. Doran and Peyz answer with one in response. In the end, a 2 for 2, as we see mid laners down on either side.
What? How did T1 get 2 there? It looked so disastrous from the start when Keria just got blown up, and now this is a T1 bear.
Yeah, this is a T1 moment right now. No vision, no wards for JoJo, importantly. He only has the oracles. He can't put a ward over the wall because that Dreamcatcher has none for him. T1 have backed away. They've taken a moment. And
all right. Furia's done their homework. They know what a T1 Baron is. They know specifically as well what Kalista Vi can do to a Baron. But watch this one more time. They start because they're able to one-shot the Senna as the turret dies, though. And then really it's just Tatu on Nasus is still looking pretty unstoppable.
Right. Doran has so much damage, though. This is the thing.
This is true.
Like, Doran basically one-shots Tutsz, who basically one-shots Faker. Tatu comes across to help clean them up.
Still working on Dusk and Dawn as well. Once he completes that, it's going to be pretty tricky. And a lot of people misconceive Nasus as this late-game hyperscaler. He's really a mid-game hyperscaler.
Agreed.
If you get enough AD carry damage multiplication, especially since they have two different sources, you can only wither the one, he will die.
Yeah. He's a little bit behind the curve in terms of where we've seen the average for stacks at this moment. 20 minutes, 5-3-5 is usually where you want to be, and so you can see he's 2 minutes short of that, and that's predominantly because Oner and T1 have been constantly invading his jungle and stealing away these camps, and when the fight's more bloody as well, you don't have as much time just to get the resets going and get the cycle through your jungle minions. Furia setting up towards this top side, looking for a bit of invade. There's a Scuttle Crowd coming up in less than 10 seconds time as Faker with the Weaver's Wall manages to find a way out of the fight. Tatu now, is it Scuttle Crab? Is it Baron? Doran has TP, he's in the bot side. Tutsz is going to answer with also has a TP of his own. Peyz steps forward. Fate's call, they'll dive onto Ayu again. The charm through the encore still finds onto Peyz. Tutsz did TP in. Tatu is low, and that ultimate about to expire. Fury of the stands. Well, Fury for Furia, it seems, as T1 close in on the fight, and Peyz continues to dance on the graves of his enemies.
That handshake over the wall from Keria as Guigo tried to finish off Peyz. Peyz is just dancing on them with this Kalista now. 8, 2, and 6. Desperation time for Furia.
Just looking for anything he can find. That Baron already down to 7k. Peyz not even there. Makes the possibility of a steal a little bit easier, but I don't think they're going to be able to find it. He waited till it was much lower than 1.4k to land the smite. 800 I saw on it. T1 will secure their first Baron of the game at 23 minutes.
He doesn't miss. And look at the killer instinct here from T1 as Peyz just flies up the right side as they're also able to peel Tatu. It's just so difficult for him to ever touch Kalista. Like, if we could somehow check like Nasus damage versus Nasus damage to Peyz, it's like 15,000 and then like 6, because maybe he hit him with one part of his E. At this point as well, look at the Kalista. Handshake over the wall from Keria. Makes it so no one can actually get to Peyz, as then he shreds the Baron afterwards and has QSS, just in case you do manage to get in range to wither him.
Yeah, dude's already got cleanse as well, so it's you wither him twice in a team fight, he is still getting out of there. Drake secure for T1, a Weaver's Wall coming out from Faker as he looks to separate Furia from this tier 2 in the bottom side, but Furia will be able to step forward and try and fight around it. It has not been clean from T1. Furia have made them fight for every step in this game.
Absolutely. I mean, T1 knew exactly what they wanted to do this game. They wanted to consistently dive bot lane. The dives were a little messy, but crucially, Peyz kept getting the kills. And with Peyz now having this massive item gap in the game, he's really pushing the pressure.
He's so accelerated, and you can see like the Senna sitting at 57 stacks.
Yeah.
Like, he's so far behind where he wants to be in terms of state of the game as Tutsz tries to step forward, is caught by the chain of corruption and has to flash away. Between worlds he goes, does survive. Encore and bailout exchange on either side, but Peyz begins to step forward. Slammed against the wall. Peyz is down! Peyz is down! A good flash out from Oner, but he's still taken, and it has not been clean. And Furia are here to clean up. Faker flashes the wall, but you've got 4 members of Furia hoping that you fall. They'll make it sure. Furia with an ace.
And there goes every Baron buff that T1 was holding. Not to mention the gold lead is now only at 1,000. Still always difficult, but for the time being, the objective bounties also haven't fallen off yet, so Furia's got to get out on the map and kill some of those turrets. But watching this one more time, Peyz just goes unbelievably deep. Like, he flies over the wall, and just not being able to secure that kill, he then realizes that Nasus is straight behind him, and a Gnar would be waiting for him if he flashes over the side of the wall, so he kind of realizes that there's nowhere to go and the shutdown ends up going over to Tatu's Nasus. Picks up another 12 stacks off of Doran on the way out, and then they finish off Fake Furious.
Just resilience, continuing.
The resilience of this Brazilian team, I do want to commend, because it is just unfair to have to play against T1 in the lower bracket this early on into the series. You can definitely criticize them, and the fans have, for losing to Lion. That was supposed to be their equal. They got 3-0 despite being in some good game states, but they are absolutely not letting T1 walk over them. And so they're doing everything they can to fight to their last breath here against T1. They pull out a gambit here. They are gambling that the Senna Seraphine won't get steamrolled that much and will be able to scale into being this super enchanter team. And they've kind of gotten there. The Nasus is strong. They're to 2 or 3 items on everyone.
And
he's just going to run Faker down.
The Rocket Belt doesn't give you much right now, but the Weaver's Wall, enough to get you out.
Whew.
Meanwhile, T1 are going to push through that mid lane. There's a tier 2 there for them. Should be able to secure it before anyone from Furia can really find their marks in that lane. In fact, deciding against it, didn't want to overstep. Instead, they'll go towards the top side and look for this tier 2. It's Tutsz and JoJo on the defense, and they'll clear out the way pretty sharpish. Tutsz already has 3 items complete. 7-2-7 on this Aurora. Obviously, a lot of our focus has been on Tatu, but Tutsz has had an absolute blinder of a game.
Absolutely. He's landing big AoEs in all the fights that they win, but the eyes are going to continue to be drawn to Peyz. I mean, he did keep his flash that last fight, and if T1 has a more controlled setup for this soul fight, it'll probably be game deciding. Nasus won't really be able to run down T1 if T1 has Cloud Soul, and we can look at the Coinbase gold grind here. 1,700 more just kill gold than the Senna. That's not even counting the 1,500 gold lead he has from minions. He is just out-farming and outpacing in these team fights.
Oner collapsed on Faker, overextended. They'll leave Oner. Faker's going to try and TP away, and because Guigo does not have Mega on its way, has no CC. Faker TPs to the top side, and Tutsz is going to try and react to clear out that wave before it gets towards the tier 2. Drake up in 45 seconds. Would be Soul Cloud for T1. Furia still only nursing a single dragon so far this game.
Yeah, Waves are in a decent spot right now in terms of getting set up for this Drake for Furia. Gnar would want to mark Doran from going in, and it's really just about not getting sectioned off by one of Faker's Taliyah ultimates. One problem is they just have no lockdown for this Kalista.
Yeah.
Kalista not known as being this late game champion, but Peyz Kalista with a 3,500 gold lead might be a different story.
Also with the protection the rest of the team provides him, right? He can dance around you because he knows Keria has the bailout, has the handshake, has the hostile takeover. Oner has the bolt breaker, the cease and desist. They can allow space for him to work in. And for Furia, they don't have incredible backline access. You have an Encore that can be cleansed and you can be QSS'd away. You have a Gnar jumping in. You have an Aurora going in with Between Worlds, which can be good, but it's usually not enough to one-shot the AD carry, especially the possibility of a bailout. Drake begun. Guigo going to pull it down towards the bottom side, stacking up his Gnar bar on it. Beat drop from JoJo, doesn't connect onto Keria, who's trying to sidestep, and there's the face call being used. The Weaver's Wall for a separation. Bolt breaker and cease and desist across the wall here by Oner, and T1 have done a great job of making sure Furia can't all group up, but here come the dogs. Tatu on the chase onto Doran, a bailout on him won't bring him back. There's no one low enough for him to get the assist on. Peyz now stepping forward. The dive in from Guigo. Peyz with the cleanse with a second. Oner there as well with the Guardian Angel on his shoulders will help keep Peyz alive. So close to 1-for-1.
1-for-1, but T1's very low. I was wondering if they're going to start that Cloud Drake, but they're not going to with the TP coming back in. They're going to try and jump on him though.
But it's Tutsz. He has flashed the seismic shove. Doesn't connect the flash away. Weirding dashed away with the Vault Breaker. Furia will claim their prize. The Drake is theirs.
They'll live to fight at least one more Drake, as this game is very tense.
It's even.
It is.
We are 30 minutes in, and Furia are holding the world champions.
They must, and surely they outscale. Like, the Senna has 3 items now, Hex Optics. The Seraphine scaling is insane. Frozen Heart completed by Tatu against double 80 carries, 700 stacks. Peyz did just complete yet another item. And I think the biggest thing that matters, I can list out all the champions, I can list out all the items. It's the nameplates. It's the fact that T1 has Oner, Faker, Keria, back-to-back-to-back world champions, and the most clutch team in League of Legends history. Let's see what they can do around this Baron.
Faker gets the seismic shove. There's the cease and desist immediately as well as Tutsz tries to get out, but he's dead before he can dash away with that ultimate. And with another seismic shove, the red secured for T1. It's only the mid laner down. T1 previously in this game have been tentative around starting the Baron because the enemy jungler was up, or in this series at least, but Tatu doesn't have any easy access into this pit. No blast cone for him.
That's so much of Furia's damage, so T1's just going to keep sitting on this Baron until Furia has to walk into them.
There's a blast cone there for him now. It looks like Furia, though, have given it up. They'll say, okay, you can have the Baron.
You just give away the game if you walk into them there. There's no way that they can do it intelligently. And if you give over the Nasus kill, they probably push in a 5v4 or 5v3 and take way too much of your base. The play here for Furia is just to withstand this Baron. We all know by this point that Baron gives much less than it did last year. It by no means ends the game. So at this point, keep collecting your stacks. Prioritize, to me, the Senna gold, because if he finishes Infinity Edge, that's when it doesn't really matter that he's been behind Peyz this entire game. That's when the Senna can start two-hitting people. So Furia, I think smartly after suffering that death, decide to give the Baron away.
Agreed, agreed. The gold lead, inconsequential, like 2,000 across 5 players. It's 400 each. It's an extra longsword as Oner does step up. Tatu looking to try and control his own jungle, goes in with the oracles, and we'll just clear out some of this vision. No camps for him to find. Steps forward once again. Not yet level 16. He's about a minion away from it as a beat drop from JoJo doesn't find its mark. T1 will take the tier 2 on the top side. The Weavers will just fortunate for Furia that they got on the right side of that, because whoever had been in the jungle side would have been caught out. Furia now need to path down towards this mid lane to make sure that this turret doesn't fall either. The Red Bull bound power play, 2K so far as Tutsz looks for the engage onto Keria, but remember, Fate's Call can always pull Keria out of a tricky situation. Doran continues to push in top, the wave in mid now coming forward with T1. Tatu
getting pulled back and forth.
TP out from Doran.
He thought he was cut off right there. Might have been by the Nasus. Somewhat crucially, Peyz did burn the QSS on that last Nasus Wither. Still has the cleanse, and QSS will be back soon.
Keria not going for the Mikhails. I think 2 CC cleansing abilities is enough, which makes sense. I think Bandle Pipes and the Locket alongside the Morello is strong, and because he burnt the QSS, he now upgrades to a Mercurial, which means he gets that QSS cooldown back.
Refreshed it. Cheeky little bugger. Peyz.
A Mercurial man, isn't he?
Yes, I see. Yeah, it's good. It's good. You got a lot of those.
Oh, yeah, it's just words. Just to be honest, just words. Words put in the right order. Furia trying to find a fight put in the right order to find them a win in this best of 5. They've pushed T1, and T1 on the other side have been messy.
How many games have we seen already this MSI where we think, T1, they might lose this one before they clutch up and win it? TP way down bot lane, and T1 just pushes up the front door.
In shadow there for the shield as well. They'll turn on to Oner. A 3-man charm immediately. Mercurialed away by Peyz. Furia will lose their inhibitor. Guigo almost had the flank position. Tutsz does. He's spotted. The Gnar back onto Faker, but now Guigo's behind enemy lines. A good hostile takeover as Faker's able to survive. Tatu exhausted. Shoved back with the seismic shove. And just like that, T1 flipped the switch. They flipped the story from what can Furia do to will T1 allow it. A handshake is all Furia will get out of this MSI as T1 are done. 3-0 on the day. Not as clean as they'd like, but still they remain victorious.
Still counts. 3-0 yet again for T1. So despite their loss in the upper bracket to BLG 3-2, this is now the 4th sweep that T1 has accomplished so far at MSI 2026 as they move on in that lower bracket.
And for Furia, I mean, there were some good signs. There were some good signs. I think, unfortunately for them, a couple of difficult matchups. As you say, Lion probably the one they went into thinking they had a better chance of winning. Against T1, though, they pushed them. Really did in this game 3.
They did, but the thing that remains true throughout this entire MSI is that Peyz and Keria are absolutely fearsome. They're still performing as the best bot lane in the world. They're the strength that T1 pivots around in all of these close games.
Furia take a bow. Looking forward to seeing them back at Worlds. If they can make it. We're going to hand it over to the analyst desk to break down that series and today, and then lead us into a day off.
Thank you very, very much. Yes, for Furia, of course, they would have expected a lot more.